So I want to catch your attention over there because I see somebody, you're kind of busy on your phone. So this is what the IT manager looks like when he has no idea what to do when his network is down, right? And that's the thing that he can do is pray to some gods somewhere. And the only thing that he can do is hope that his system will somehow miraculously come back online. And the last thing that he can do is actually he pulls out the plug and he resets the whole system again. It's similar to some of you in terms of what you have gone through yourself. So I want to share a little bit about what we do. In the cybersecurity world out there today, it's increasingly becoming criminals are coming on board more and more. And you saw the recent hacks has been happening around the world. In Singapore, when you bring it closer to home with SingHealth and a bunch of other companies and even banks as well. Over here you can see, bank, financial, the security and infrastructure or finance sector from telecommunication and so on and so forth. You do see these security areas being hacked all the time. Market size of what cybersecurity companies have spent in 2004 is $3.4 billion. And you fast forward to 2017 of last year, they spent $120 billion in cybersecurity costs. Now, in the next few years, it's estimated, the analyst has predicted that it may hit $1 trillion. So that's the amount of money that companies are going to be spending on securing their networks, their companies, and in different infrastructures itself. Now, we do see this increasing more and more across the board as well. But how do we make cybersecurity or security available not just to MNCs? How do we make it available to SMEs as well at the same time? So this is where we come in. AntiHACK Me is, Asia's largest bug bounty program. So what do we do? Means that there is a bounty for a bug for a white hacker to actually catch the bug. All right, it's quite simple. 80% of our product development is done in Singapore itself, and we offer the necessary protection for zero-day causes. So what happens over here is that the hackers, or we have white hackers, you have gray hackers, and you have black hat hackers. Now the white hat hackers or security researchers would actually look through a system and basically find out vulnerabilities in your system and actually update you so that you can actually patch your system. Today, right now, I can see that maybe 90% of the people in the room over here on your emails, I am able to spoof your email. I can use your email, blah, 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 chairman of XYZ company, and I can actually forward that email to your clients, to your customers, to your, to your own internal staff, and they would think that it's actually coming from you. And that unknowingly allows the hacker to actually allow him to click on something so that we actually have access to your system directly itself. So there is an increase in cyber attacks today, all right? And of course, around the world, there is a lack of skilled security researchers today. There is a lack of security researchers in Asia itself. And there is a rising cost of cybersecurity. Now, in the MNC phase, when they look at security, they are able to pay a certain nice amount of money to actually secure their sites. But how about the smaller guys? How about the people who have started a business? How about yourself when you're starting your own business? Are you 100% sure that your system is fully protected? Are there vulnerabilities? But if there are vulnerabilities, how are you going to go out there and actually go to one of these big security firms and actually engage them to actually secure your site? It's very expensive. But we provide a service, for example, whereby we are able to actually pay per bug. That means if we don't find a bug, you don't have to pay us, all right? So it's almost like a pay-for-use experience. So these are the landscape that we have right now. In the center is where we are. In the US and European focus is HackerOne, and we have BugCrowd, whereby HackerOne is focused on the US market in the defense and some of the commercial industries. And of course, you have BugCrowd focus in the European market and ourselves in the middle. Now, what we have that differentiate ourselves from the rest is we have strict KYC policy. That means we do check and find out about our hackers. We do not just allow anyone to come on our platform so that we bring that security to our customers themselves. So the business model just flashes out. We have the white hackers, and what we will be able to provide to the consumer or the customer is a faster result and, of course, seamless payment and of course the cost will be much, much more economical for the companies themselves. And of course we maintain quality and of course speed. So the creation of the HackerNet is an ecosystem that we want to bring on board. And it is powered by blockchain. Reason being, it provides the security for the companies, because while you're sitting down there, you're probably wondering, if I am a company and if I'm going to open myself up to hackers, would they find a vulnerability and don't tell me about it, or insert a Trojan horse into my business and later on down the stream unlock the door and then come into my company, right? Now, this is the ability whereby we are able to provide a sandbox of a sort, whereby the credentials of the company is stripped away, hacker themselves as well, and basically we provide a place or a safe environment for the hackers to actually check out for the vulnerabilities and actually report those vulnerabilities back to the customer. We have a case whereby we were able to find out certain vulnerabilities of this agency, all right, not naming who they are, within a day itself. And we found multiple vulnerabilities and were able to enter in all the way to the data, to the pay, to the salary of the payment of the company itself. That's how deep we were able to penetrate into the system, because certain areas was not blocked out and they were buying antivirus programs at the same time. So we can, of course, it allows us to eliminate payment disputes on the blockchain itself because everything is secure. This gives you an idea of the need of why a HackerNet is important, and we're excited to say that we'll be the first in the world to actually provide such a service whereby there is none. So we'll be able to connect hackers, white hat hackers and researchers all the way from Germany, from Americas, from France, anywhere part of the world, even China, and allow them to be in an environment whereby it's safe and whereby the transaction is clean, is clear, and is fast at the same time. So on the HackerNet registry, of course, we exhaust the verification of the users and of the hackers themselves, and of course we provide the 100% legitimacy return to each one of them. All right. So why the need for it? Because HackerCred empowering the AntiHACK token, all right, the consumers to be able to use it, and of course for our customers to actually use those tokens, within the space itself. So when you do a vulnerability test, do you know that most companies do a vulnerability test, a bank, for example, every single week, every single day for some of the bigger banks? Why? Because vulnerabilities are always there. You'll always be finding something new. It's either big or small. And when the big one comes, you do see some markets or some banks out there and actually slowing down and actually having issues. Of course, they do not publicize it, but when there is a downtime, some issues is going on the back end, and they actually shut down for a while. Now that is a huge hit on credibility. And based on my first slide earlier, where we shared about the amount of money that these companies would be spending, that gives us that huge opportunity to participate in this space. And of course, on the blockchain space, it is something whereby we want to definitely decentralize and of course allow more of our white hat hackers to be able to actually enjoy these services as well. Most of them may not be joining a company. They are enthusiasts themselves, and you'll be quite interesting to see that many of them are Hall of Famers on Google, on Facebook, and multiple companies out there as well, and they are able to find multiple vulnerabilities at the fastest and quickest time. These are some of our clients that we're working with today. There's a few more that we do not want to discuss. They don't want to be known, and it allowed us the opportunity to actually reach out to many companies out there. And one of the key things that we have found is that many people treat security as a passé. They always tell us, since nothing has happened to me, I don't have to worry about it. And when we were testing one of our customers, we found that the customer was already hacked by some hacker somewhere, and he never knew about it. And of course, we were able to eradicate some of the issues that we have found. Over here are some of our founders, Chief Tech Officer Dexter, and one of the co-founders, Andy. This is the team, commercial officers, COO in the system itself, and of course we have a bunch of advisors from the company. Thank you very much. Any questions? I'd like to invite Dexter, our CTO, to come up on stage to answer any technical questions that you might have.
Thank you for that. First question, I'm I'm kind of a little bit confused because earlier you said your positioning is Asia's largest bug bounty program. You put an emphasis on how you only have hackers from Singapore, and then when you were introducing HackerNet, you were saying you could connect white hat hackers from around the world. So, are you focused on Asia, or are you focused?
We are focusing around the world. So, I mean, mostly on Asia at the moment in time, but we have hackers from around the world. So we do have hackers, for example, in Singapore, and right now we have about 300 registered hackers from around the world, whereby we're going through KYC and everything. And basically, when we have a company on board, what happens is that they'll go through a systematic check, and then what we will do is allow these hackers to actually go through a vulnerability check within these companies themselves. Yeah.
Is there any need to focus in Asia, or, I mean, security is security around the world, right?
No, not really. So, for example, we are currently setting up offices in, for example, Taiwan. We're speaking to partners, possible partners in Germany. We have possible partners around in Asia as well. We're very new. We just started just a while back, but we're able to garner quite fast speed. I think in Singapore-wise, because of the case that happened recently, it helped us to accelerate and allow us to hockey stick up in terms of customers and consumers coming to us. And when we do a test, we do a free test, to anybody, who just approach us, hey, can you do a free test, a vulnerability test on us? And every time they do, we told them, be tested yourself and find out yourself whether you are or not affected, or whether you are secured or not secured. And from there, it allowed the businesses to come through pretty quickly. So not just Singapore, yeah. We started initially with just Singapore and Asia, but we are getting business opportunities from around the world as well.
Yeah, I have a question. I felt that this white hacker bug bounty, such kind of a project, the competitive advantage is, do you have a much resource in hacker ecosystem?
The nice thing is, yes, we are decentralizing. And basically, when I say this, it may give a cringe, but it's kind of like the Uber of the world of hacking, whereby our hackers are available on, for example, the HackerNet, and they register themselves. And basically, when we put a bounty up, for example, hey, we have a $5,000 bounty to, for example, test this site or this program, and then or this activity, what these hackers will do is they'll sign up and they'll start to hack. And once they find the bugs, they'll submit the bugs. Yeah. And then we pay them based on that.
Yeah, I know, because I know many hackers from Ukraine and East Europe, because they thought there is a specific culture in the hacker hacker ecosystem. So I think what's your advantage compared to the maybe hacking some from the famous hacker culture country, because their government have no time to regulate this kind of business. So
so our HackerNet is the only HackerNet that strips away the identity of all the customers. So the hacker, when they try to penetrate something, they actually don't know which company's data this is. Yeah, that's what we are trying to build.
Yeah. So that gives a value add to the customer. So imagine I am a bank and you're approaching me and you're saying that I'm going to be hacked by a hacker. The bank will say, oh, no, I'm very scared, you plan a lot of stuff. But when we tell them, no, we are going to put that into a sandbox whereby I strip you. Like right now, I got the bank name, I cover the identity, I take it away. So when the hacker is hacking me, he has no idea that this is that bank. Mm-hmm. So this provides a very strong layer of security and safety for the bank that nobody else currently actually has in the world. And that's our key strength. And that's why there are certain, for example, even banks that we are speaking to that is interested in this because of this sandboxing that we're able to do.
Okay.
I think the companies are very sensitive to open their own code to hackers because this is like opening their weaknesses to hackers as well. So I guess there will be a lot of contract between companies and hackers. Don't open this code to the public or something. So how does a network deal with this kind of problem?
So a lot of our hacking is actually black box hacking. So they don't open any codes at all. Yeah. So they do not review anything. All the hackers are actually hacking as though they are a normal user. Yeah. There's no extra codes being given to them.
So it's hacking from, for example, imagine a building, all right, and it's full of glass windows, and every window seems to be closed, right? What a hacker does is that he's like a Spider-Man scaling down or a window washer. He'll try to, every window, he's going to try to see which one is not locked. So that's what a hacker does, you know, and we don't expose the code for sure. But once he opens that door, he allows us the bug report, because he can't go in, because it's not a code level. So he's able to say, okay, I can open this door, and then he'll report the bug. And then what happens is that, we report the bug to the company, to the bank or whatever, and then he'll say, okay, 100-story window, close this, latch it, latch it, latch it. These are all the bugs that's been found. Now we can actually close those pods. So for the bank, it's something that they will want, because internal team in the banks or in some companies, they do have internal hackers and security teams. But because these are the guys who's doing their own code all the time, they are blind, they can't see actually other issues that's happening. So they allow third-party companies like ourselves to come in to actually allow us to test the system. And like an audit, we audit what's open, what's closed, and actually that business will just keep going on, because there will always be some issues somewhere. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.